is the right to think, act, and behave as one wishes. With those words, feel greeted. My name is Nsuku Valentine Shibambu, and today we are at Kids Haven, where me and my fellow child right defenders will be having a discussion about the International Day of an African Child. Going back to 1976, in June 16 in South Africa, Soweto uprising, where we had children marching for the quality of education in South Africa, as well as the language that came with education in South Africa during the apartheid era. So the main importance of us celebrating this day, number one, is to actually make sure that we educate people about children's rights and overall children's needs, but then secondly, to remind government and stakeholders in Africa about the challenges that children face within society. Welcome to the dialogue session. I am now joined by my fellow child human rights defenders, and we'll go straight into the first question. So the first question of the day is, what do you know about the International Day of an African Child?
International Day of an African Child is that I know that it has been commemorated for the past 20 years.
It has been indeed commemorated for the past 20 years. It was established mainly from 2002, and that was to actually highlight and actually show the importance of June 16 due to the Soweto uprising. And with that being said, the theme for this year is eliminating traditional harmful practices on children. What are the challenges you face around child marriages, and what do you think contributes to those challenges?
I think that the elimination of early child marriages is going to be hard, because there are a lot of challenges that causes early child marriage. Because teenagers are being raped, kids are being raised, girl childs are being raised to know that you are going to get married once you've reached a certain age. That also increases the rate of teenage pregnancy, because once I get married under the age of 15 years, I'll be expected to conform to the sexual activities that will be needed in the marriage. So that will also lead into the higher rate of teenage pregnancy, of which it's something that we are struggling with right now as a country. So it will be a good thing to eliminate early child marriages, but then it's still going to be hard, since we are conformed to it, and it's been something that we have been taught at an age.
Indeed, gender norms are a huge contributory factor to child marriages, and if we actually deal with this, that could actually lead us to potentially having a better Africa. Can indeed actually lead to teenage pregnancy and other harms, right? And you said something, I picked up something from that answer which really caught my attention, which is about government and policies. One of the biggest challenges that we actually face is the clash between customary laws, constitutions, and other policies. With that being said, do you think we have enough policies to eradicate child marriages?
As a matter of fact, when it comes to that question, I would agree and also disagree. I feel like it goes with how information reaches people. If, for example, you know about your rights as a child, you know about the policies that we all have as a child, then you'll be able to stand out for yourself. But then if you're not aware of them, you will not be able to stand out for yourself. If you know about treaties like African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, and you understand it, we have Article 4, for example, which is about best interest of the child. You must know that early childhood marriage, for example, is it in the best interest of the child? Which is no, because if, for example, you are married to someone, then at some point you're going to have sex, and the age of consent as well, it's 16, and at the age of a child, it's anyone below the age of 18. So I feel like the policies themselves contradict themselves, and beside that, whatever is being done, the early childhood marriage are not in the best interest of the child. They're robbing the child of rights like right to education, and right to play, because you have to enjoy your childhood as a child.
Indeed, every child deserves the right to be a child. I feel like that is the most important thing that we have to look into today, that every child deserves to be a child, fully express themselves as a child, and child marriages actually eradicate and jeopardize every right that children have. But that was actually a very good conversation. And for the last question of the day, what does the International Day of an African Child mean to you, and how do you usually commemorate this day?
Well, that's an interesting question. Well, to me personally, the day actually means a lot to me because it reminds me on how the abilities of what children can do. Like if you go back to the Soweto uprising where kids formed a group and protested against the laws that were set on the educational thing, how it was set, so then the educational system, how low it was and how it did not benefit them. So they formed a group, they fought against that, some paid the price, but then we're here today enjoying the benefits of what happened years ago. So that's what it means to me. And how we can commemorate it is by informing the youth or the young children of today on the things that happened back then and enjoying what was fought for us back then, yes.
Indeed. I feel we can all actually agree that early child marriages is something that is very problematic to the welfare of a child in general, and it needs to be dealt with. That was the insight from our child human rights defenders. We hope that you have learned a lot about early child marriages, and we hope as a way of you actually commemorating the day, which is the 16th of June, that you actually educate more people about early child marriages and the negative harms it has on children. #a girl, not a bride. Inko.